What's up, everyone? And you know, this is Royal Rumble today. This greatest Royal Rumble thing. I wasn't gonna watch it on time because I had to go to work, and I was not gonna watch it until I got home. And I know this was a 5-hour show. I skipped the pre-show because I know it wasn't worth it. But sitting through these 5 hours of this greatest Royal Rumble, um, I guess you could say pay-per-view or network special, and title matches and 50-man rumble. Before I even watched the show today, people were already trying to tell me, don't watch it, you're wasting your time, this was shit. And like, I tried to tell them, like, don't tell them any spoilers or nothing, but just, was it bad or good? And I had like three different people telling me, like, oh, this is shit, this is shit. And I didn't know what was going on. I heard a few things here and there what happened, but I never really asked a result for the show. But when I got home, and it's like I said, it was a 5-hour show. There were gonna be a lot of matches. You could tell that Rumble was gonna be long, and I wondered how was this show gonna go, since they've been pushing this Saudi Arabia, I don't know how long now. And I sit there and wonder about this whole greatest Royal Rumble thing. Does it even come in comparison, and even kind of shits on the regular Royal Rumble? Says, why do we need two Royal Rumbles for? We get good with one, and it's not like none of these guys will win no type of title match. Will I admit the trophy actually looked better and actually creative and knew what they were doing this time? Yes, it actually looked like a legitimate trophy, and it was very giant and big. I don't understand the title with it though, but the trophy was very big. It didn't look like no bullshit one like the Andre. It didn't look like a vagina like the women's trophy. It looked like a legitimate trophy that looked kind of prestigious. Because I've said before, New Japan's trophies come off very prestigious than WWE's, but this one was an actually really good trophy, and I thought it looked creative, and it was very big, a very giant life size trophy. If you ask me, if you stand next to it, depending on how tall you are, it's a very, very big trophy. But we kicked off this show. They talked about this. And this is a big arena. The was in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, at the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. And there was Pyro that kicked off the show, and Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton were there. Which, one thing that bothered me about this show is that you have Jerry the King Lawler and Jim Ross out there. Probably flew them all the way over here, and you only put them on the pre-show. You brought Jim Ross all the way out there, and you only put him on the pre-show. See, this is why I appreciate Jim Ross doing a lot of commentary nowadays for New Japan and stuff, because I don't understand. It would have been cool to listen to King and JR on commentary like they did at WrestleMania. I still think it sucked they were on a pre-show for the Andre Battle Royale, but they really could have put Jim Ross on this and the King. I don't think we really need to hear Cole and Graves. I like Graves and Saxton and stuff, but I'd rather have heard from Jim Ross and Jerry King Lawler on this special, because they were actually pushing for this. I remember Jerry Lawler was saying that a lot online. And now it just kind of feels like a waste. You flew them out there just for the pre-show, but you couldn't put on the main show. I don't know. This didn't make sense to me. But we kicked off the show with a pretty much a main event type of match, which I felt like should have been near the end. Was Triple H versus John Cena. Feels like stepping out of 2006 again, but Triple H had pretty much came up with a jacket with his regular entrance, no type of motorcycles this time. Mr. God of NXT himself with like an NXT logo on his jacket, going against John Cena, who had a whole bunch of like kids right there dressed in his attire, and he even got some pyro, same as Triple H. This was a really good match. Okay, this felt like this should have been near the main event. From the test of strength to chain wrestling, I did like Triple H kind of dodging the whole "you can't see me," he was gonna do his own, and then gave him a crotch chop to it. From both guys hitting their finishers on each other, from an FU and a pedigree. Triple H tried to go for another STF, not Triple H, but John Cena tried to go for another STFU. Triple H had got his own to a crossface, but Cena tried to hit him with an FU, but he pretty much slingshotted him into the turnbuckle and then hit another FU for the win after Triple H kicked out of the first one. And then John Cena pretty much says, an honor and privilege to be at this show, and, you know, no matter where you go in the universe, you know, no one's not going to miss this show tonight, and he pretty much left after that. But it was a really good match. The crowd really liked it. I thought it kind of kicked off the show really good. I still think a lot of those fans were just sitting looking at their phones to what I see, especially in the front rows. You can see them not paying attention to a handful of these matches right here. But I did enjoy Triple H versus John Cena. For a minute, I said, if John Cena lose again, you might as well add another loss to John Cena's record. Because I said, one of these guys kind of need a win. John Cena really needed a win after that match at WrestleMania getting killed against Undertaker. Triple H didn't really need a win, but after when somebody told me Triple H hasn't won a regular match since 2015, I know he's going to put people over, or he's going to put himself over. I just kind of, even I thought either Triple H or John Cena needed the win after what happened at WrestleMania, but John Cena got his shit kicked in at WrestleMania about Undertaker, so I understand why he needed it. Next was Cedric Alexander versus Kalisto for the Cruiserweight Championship. A really good match. I'm not sure the crowd was really all with it, but I liked it. I liked the seated springboard Spanish fly off the top rope. I thought it was good. Both guys showed crazy agility out there. There was like another springboard Hurricane Rana into a DDT almost. That looked really cool. Cedric pretty much got the win after Kalisto tried to do a Selena del Sol, but dodged it into a lumbar check, which looked really cool for the win. But both guys really did great out there. They had some really great spots. I actually liked this match, but I felt like the first half of the show was really kind of killing the crowd, if you ask me. Until and we'll get on to the second half later when it kind of got better. But I know they were trying to stretch time through that, but I did enjoy that. Next was Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus The Bar for the Raw tag titles, but I didn't really care. I knew who was winning, regardless. Sheamus and Cesaro on SmackDown, Hardy and Wyatt on Raw. Come on, man. Anybody can tell you who's going to win this match right here. Anyone. Pretty much it was like a Twist of Fate elevated version of it. Matt and Wyatt won. I still don't think this thing hasn't clicked on all the way of how the crowd is accepting it. But the Bar's going back to SmackDown, and we'll see what these two face on Raw next, really. But I guess give it time. But you knew who was winning this match, okay? Anyone can tell you. Next was Jeff Hardy versus Jinder Mahal for the U.S. Championship. Very quick match. The most thing you can take out of this match, and I'm sure this is a GIF online, was when Jeff Hardy did a Whisper in the Wind, and he didn't even hit Jinder Mahal. And Jinder just still took a bump anyway for no reason. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck did he just do? He just literally, he just bumped for no reason. I didn't understand that. I was laughing though. I thought it was hilarious. He missed the whole move and he just fell. He fell. He fell to nothing. He you didn't even get hit, but he still fell on the ground. I don't understand why, but I don't know. I guess he wanted to sell it, or no one wouldn't notice. But that was like the biggest spot to take away from them. That Whisper in the Wind, folks, never even connected it. And Jeff Hardy pretty much won after knocking down the Singh brother and hitting his Twist of Fate after dodging the Colossus and then hitting the Swanton Bomb for the win. So pretty much after I knew Jeff Hardy won the U.S. title, you could tell the Intercontinental title was going to stay on Raw regardless after that. So that kind of gave it away also when you look at it. They interviewed Chris Jericho and Daniel Bryan about the Rumble match. I still thought Jericho was putting people on the list was still funny. The Bludgeon Brothers went against the Usos. Wasn't really much to say from it. It was another 5-minute match. The Usos had some hope spots out there, yeah, but the Bludgeon Brothers pretty much beat them, and they hit the double power bomb for the win. Naomi wasn't really going to be there to save them this time, but I kind of knew who was winning. I didn't think the Usos were really going to retain anyways. but I guess they wanted to make the Bludgeon Brothers look dominant as possible and make them more big as they are. I feel the Usos have lost the edge though. I really do, because like, you know, they usually talk about the Uso Penitentiary and very dominant team, but they just pretty much either getting their asses kicked or they haven't really looked as strong as usual. I'm not still really sure about adding Naomi into this. I know it's Jimmy Uso's wife, but I'm not really bored on how this is going to keep going. But the dance was nice on last Tuesday though. But like I said, the match was okay for what it was, 5 minutes. And this is when the show I felt like started to pick up after that. This is where the second half, in my opinion, was starting to get good. When it was Seth Rollins versus The Miz versus Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor in a fatal 4-way ladder match. It was a really good ladder match. I enjoyed it. I like the ladder shots. I guess Seth getting hit in his chest with one and kind of having like a scrape on it. Miz kind of going ham for a second, taking everyone out that people actually cheered for him out there. Pretty much in DDT and his it kicks was really good, but when Balor was trying to go back for the ladder again, Joe tried to take him out and choke him, but Finn pretty much rolled it over, hit a double stomp on him. Joe tried to go for get it back later on, but Finn knocked him off the ladder. Finn tried to get up the ladder, but Seth springboarded, took the title as quick as possible, and slipped down for the win. Finn's eye was bleeding really bad, so it was a different type of finish, I will say that, other than slowly trying to do your best to get the belt. It was just kind of like Seth got out of there as a desperation plan and wanted to still keep the Intercontinental Championship on Monday Night Raw. So I guess after Jeff winning the U.S. title, retaining, you knew kind of Seth was gonna win. Some may have thought Finn could have won, it would have been either way, but Seth Rollins was gonna pick up the win right here. Mike Rome stood in the ring with, I guess, the I was like 4 prospects from the tryouts they had, the WWE, well, not the Performance Center, but they were training them, and I guess they got their 4 finalist prospects to see who was gonna move on and everything. But I don't really, what were their names? Just read them on right here. Was it Nasir, Hussein, Mansour, and Jeddah's own Faisal? They pretty much said something that they're going to represent their country to the fullest until Daivari and both Daivaris, really, Sean Daivari and Arya Daivari, pretty much had an Iranian flag saying we're the strongest country out here because we're from Iran. And as they tried to go at the prospects out there, they pretty much took out both the Daivari brothers, knocking them out of the ring there. So I was actually surprised to see them there. Next was AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE title. Heel Nakamura, I love his fucking theme song. Let me get that straight. I love it. I don't care what anybody says. It is great, even though it's looped. I know people are not supposed to sing it because he's a heel. I think that song is still badass. Okay, I love it. Some may not understand what the lyrics are, or because it's in Japanese, but I think it's awesome. I love this song. Next, I guess after Shinsuke pretty much did his whole entrance coming down the ring, and this heel thing is starting to work against AJ Styles, which I will say right here, this was a better match than what they had at WrestleMania, and even I wondered, where was this match at WrestleMania? Nakamura being a heel out there, pretty much just with AJ Styles most of the times, as they went at each other, had the whole yay boo thing, both guys trying to hit each other's finishes on each other, but when AJ was going to go back on Nakamura, Styles was looking at the ref. After the ref was kind of got knocked out, he tried to hit the forearm. Nakamura hit him with the nut stand, but AJ was able to grab the ropes after that. He was going to go for a Kinshasa, but he was pretty much outside of the ring then. AJ and Nakamura went over to the announce table. This was a double countout. Really good match, way better than what they did at WrestleMania. I was wondering, where was that match at WrestleMania? I thought the finish was weak, but it pretty much sets up for next week at Backlash for the WWE Championship. I will say that. AJ pretty much got his payback tonight on Nakamura, getting him and throwing him out of the ring with a forearm. So he will defend the title next week against him at Backlash. Do I think Nakamura is going to win the championship? I feel like it may be a possibility now. I think heel Nakamura is really doing good. I'm liking it. I love the theme song. So the double countout made sense here. Even though I think it's a weak finish, it was still a really good match, and the people were into it. I'll give them that. But Nakamura's really doing good as a heel. Undertaker, who probably had one of the biggest pops tonight, went against Rusev in a casket match, which I thought Undertaker moved great out here. He moved. I know WrestleMania was like 2 minutes and 45 seconds, but I thought Undertaker looked good out here. I thought he did really good against Rusev. He actually put on a legitimate match on there. He didn't really look hurt. He didn't look like he was slowing up or, you know, really gonna botch a lot of things out there. I thought both went really good at each other. Yes, Undertaker hit his signature spots from old school to choke slams to a tombstone to Rusev even trying to take him out with a monster kick and a accolade, but it did not work. Undertaker pretty much rising as usual, trying to throw Rusev into the casket, but Aiden English got involved, and as he finally choke slammed him, he threw Rusev and rolled him into the casket. English tried to save him, but Undertaker hit him with a choke slam, looked devastating as hell, and pretty much threw him in the casket with him. Win the casket match. Undertaker's pyro comes off. I thought Undertaker did great. Yeah, he's going to hit his spots here and there where he's supposed to, but I thought he put on a really good match. I thought he did better than what he was running at WrestleMania. I thought he looked good. I thought he was in better shape than he was, and it just kind of like the dead man was back out here. So, excuse me. Like I said, I really enjoyed Undertaker versus Rusev. It wasn't a bad match. It really wasn't. It was actually a really good match to watch and kind of fun. They had about 10 minutes out there, so I liked it, and it was a really great match. That's all I gotta say on that. Now we address the elephant in the room. I'm sure title match people expected tonight. As Brock Lesnar went against Roman Reigns, I heard Paul Heyman wasn't going to be there. Then he was there. So what I hear, he wasn't there because they say he was Jewish. And I know how far that falls in that country. I'm not sure if any of that is true or not. And maybe I have to look in my notes or look up some type of research, because I heard that's why I heard Paul Heyman was not going to be there because he was Jewish, and he looked really nervous out there when doing his his whole intro thing, but he got through it and it was enjoyable as usual. But this cage match, listen, this was another finisher fest. Literally right off the blocks, it was a finisher fest. Suplex, 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 F5, of course. It was like 4 German suplexes. F5 trying to go for another one. Reigns hitting Superman punch after Superman punch. Coming in with a spear. And they just kept hitting with finishers after each other several times as they tried to get the cover on each other but kept kicking out. Roman was almost out of there from the top of the cage. It didn't work. Tried to go through the door, but Lesnar hit him with, not Lesnar, but Paul Heyman helped Brock Lesnar hit him with the door. He went through a steel chair inside, but as Lesnar took off his gloves ready to take out Reigns hit him with a spear after that and beat him with the chair several times. And as he looked at Lesnar, as Lesnar was on the cage, he speared him through the cage, and they went through it, but they said Brock went through first, so that means he wins the match, but Reigns did touch the floor. Brock was still on top of the cage wall, but somehow Brock is still the champion because they said he went through first through the like I said, he went through first through the cage wall. So Reigns, and I'll say this about here. Listen, this match itself was just a finisher fest, but I'm just surprised Roman didn't win the title here. You think we all thought he was going to drop the belt right here to Roman, but I guess they want to keep this going, and I guess this now gives Roman a technicality if you want to look at it, because yes, he did spear him through the cage, and yes, Brock did fall through first and everything, so he should win, but they said cage door does not count, so somehow he is still holding in there. I'm not really sure on that if we're going to go into some technical detail, but I'm just really surprised he's still champion and they have not dropped it to him yet. I'm really surprised Roman's actually champion. They're still continuing this feud, which I feel like now, since Brock is not going to be on TV for a minute, I'm sure he won't show up until his contract tells him to. We probably may not see him maybe near SummerSlam, because I don't really expect to see him on Raw unless they're going to do some gloating promo or something like that. But I just already know that Brock's not going to be here for months, and they're going to disappear with the championship again, which is ridiculous. Do I think they're giving up on Roman and they're going to end it from here? No. Knowing them, they're going to continue this. Like I said, they have a technicality now, and they're probably going to run with this with an angle, since Roman was technically the first one out of the cage, and he hit the floor. Only Brock hit the cage wall and was still on top of it when he went out of there. So I'm just looking from a technicality standpoint. But I feel like they're just gonna want this feud to continue. So get ready. I don't think it's over yet. I don't think it's gonna move on yet. They have a reason now to continue this whole feud. So just watch it go down. And somehow, some way, they're gonna just justify and say, hey, Roman's got another title shot, unless he beats some more Joe at Backlash and gets a title shot, and they'll make it a stipulation then. That's the only thing I know to go against Brock Lesnar. But I guess they just wanted to make Roman look strong in defeat by taking out Lesnar, instead of having the shit kicked out of him like he did at WrestleMania. So that's my whole thing on this whole Brock and Roman thing. I just think it's run its course and it needs to stop. It really does. It's just gone on long enough. It just now. We've seen it. We know what happens. We know what they can do, but this is just getting out of hand. And everybody thought they were just going to get a better reaction so Roman can win the title in Saudi Arabia, but it doesn't look like the case, and I don't know what they're planning throughout this, but this is far from over between Roman and Brock, so expect more. Expect more. Or somebody told me they want Brock to beat CM Punk's title reign of over 444 days, because Brock has already had the title for over a year, so that's something I heard. Somebody told me today. They just want to beat CM Punk's reign, which could possibly be true. Really good, knowing WWE against Punk could be true. But as they talked about Backlash, and like I said, AJ versus Nakamura for the title next Sunday. It was time for the 50-man Royal Rumble match, which number one was Daniel Bryan, which probably was the longest person in it, the Iron Man of the match of over an hour, going against Dolph Ziggler, who was number 2. 3 was Sin Cara, who was pretty much eliminated quick by Ziggler. 4th was Curtis Axel, back with his own entrance theme. 5 was Mark Henry, who got a really big reaction, taking down Axel, which Mark Henry hasn't changed, so he could still go either way, even though it's in the Hall of Fame. Mike Bennett, number 6, I didn't even know the guy was still in the company. I guess he had tights and was immediately eliminated in a second as soon as he got in the ring. So Mike Bennett, Mike Kanellis, whatever, I'm just surprised he's still here. I really forgot. I know he had some addiction, or if it was, I don't know, it was painkillers or some type of thing. I heard he went to rehab for. I believe it's true when they say that the only reason why they hired him because Maria was with him, and they probably give a shit about Maria than they do Mike Bennett. But, you know, Maria was pregnant at the time, or is pregnant right now, and Maria said Mike Bennett was going through some problems, so that's why we haven't seen him on TV in a really long time. But I don't know, I just think they don't give a crap about him after what I saw out there. He just got eliminated as quick as possible, but I just really forgot Mike Bennett was still in the company. But Mark Henry took him out. Number 7 was this Hiroki Sumi. I don't really know about him, but he's from Sumo Wrestling. But Mark Henry pretty much threw him out, but then Ziggler and Bryan came out and took out Mark Henry then. Number 8 was Victor of the Ascension. Expect a lot of jobbers. 9 was Kofi Kingston. People actually went good for the New Day's entrance. 10 was Tony Nese. Yes, we're having cruiserweights. Um, 11 was Dash Wilder. 12, Hornswoggle. Good God, why? And eliminated Dash Wilder. Just pulled him off. I was actually surprised Hornswoggle was even in this thing. Would you pretty much try to go to a tadpole splash, but Ziggler super kicked him and he bit Ziggler's finger until, who took him out of the ring. And Tony Nese took him out and took out Hornswoggle. I'm surprised he was in there. 13, Primo. I'm surprised that guy still has a job in this company. And he's been here for 10 years. 10 years. Wow. 10 years Primo's been here. Him and Epico. But if you don't know, Epico is hurt. So I'm surprised he's in this. Number 14 was Xavier Woods. So he tried to dance also. 15. What was 15? Pretty much. Oh yeah, when New Day was taking everybody out, they were starting to dance and everything, and Tony Nese tried to join along, but he got thrown out by Woods and Kingston. 15 was Bo Dallas. 16 was Kurt Angle, with some people chanting "You suck," which he had a good part out there. Which Kurt just started going in, throwing everybody around in Germans. Pretty much both Bo Dallas and Primo got eliminated by Kurt Angle, and then Ziggler tried to super kick Kurt Angle and go back for it again. Kurt hit a belly suplex, knocking him out of the ring then. 17 was Scott Dawson. 18 was Goldust, pretty good reaction. Next was 19 was Connor of the Ascension. He was out there. 20 with the performance of a lifetime. Elias had his guitar singing. Over 60,000 fans came to see him, and as they said, walk with Elias. Elias said he is universal, and damn right he is. And as he was about to sing, he pretty much got in the ring and took out the rest of the New Day and Connor. Pretty much 3 eliminations right there. 21 was Luke Gallows. Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle actually going at each other. It was pretty good, but Kurt was eliminated then by Elias after that. 22 was Rhino. 23 was Drew Gulak. After that, Gulak was 23. 24 from Heavy Machinery NXT. Tucker Knight took out Drew Gulak then. 25 was Bobby Roode. Glorious reaction at first. Pretty much Goldust got eliminated by Bobby Roode after that, and somehow Scott Dawson eliminated himself, they say. I don't know what happened, if he slipped on the ropes or something when he was going back out there, but he was pretty much on the ground last time I saw. I never knew how he got out there, but he slipped. But knowing that'll be in a revival, it's 1, 2, 3, as Cody would say. Fuck the revival, though. Scott Dawson was eliminated then after that. I said Bobby Roode was 25. Sorry, 26 was Fandango. 27, Chad Gable. 28, Booyaka Booyaka, Rey Mysterio. Rey was going ham out there. He hit a Hurricane Rana on Luke Gallows to take him out. 29 in, Fandango was eliminated by Mojo Rawley. 30 was Tyler Breeze, which kind of went up to the ringside and got eliminated by who was the one of Ascension, I believe. Pretty much landed in Fandango's arms and after Mojo Rawley, and pretty much got off of it, eliminating him. Big E was number 31 as he had pancakes and took out Tucker Knight then. 32, Carl Anderson. 33, Apollo Crews. Pretty much Chad Gable was eliminated by him. 34, Roderick Strong from NXT in the Undisputed Era. I thought it was going to be Adam Cole. You ready to say Adam Cole, baby. But it's Daniel Bryan, once again, still out here. Whatever Roderick Strong hit him with, like if he was in a strong knee, a chop, Daniel Bryan looked like he went to war by the end of this match. He was in for a war tonight, and you can see the scars and the blood he had on him to prove it when you see later on in this match. Yeah, Roderick Strong pretty much picked up the win. Why I say pick up the win, must be losing it. Yeah, I thought Roderick Strong 34 hitting everybody with like knee strikes and chops. Rhino then got eliminated by him after that. 35 was Randy Orton, big reaction. Pretty much hitting Apollo Crews with a RKO as he did some type of leapfrog off top of the rope. Took out Carl Anderson, took out Mojo Rawley, and then threw Apollo Crews what was left of him. 36 was Heath Slater. 37 was this Obabatunde. I've never heard of him, but they say he's from NXT. He's a prospect. I don't know much about him unless they haven't debuted him on TV yet, but I guess he got a little action here tonight. I didn't understand why, but excuse me. But yeah, I do not know a lot about Babatunde here. I just know he's a really big dude in NXT. I don't think he hasn't debuted yet, but I am looking forward. I am interested after I saw him though. Bigger than everybody in this match, but bigger than Strowman. 38 was Baron Corbin. Corbin pretty much took out Bobby Roode and Roderick Strong, and after that going nuts. 39 was the man, the legend himself, who probably gave people the greatest gift online tonight, was Titus freaking O'Neil, who ran so fast down the ramp that he tripped and went under the ring. Motherfucker slid under the ring, okay? Sorry, a little tired there, but pretty much right after that, yeah, Titus O'Neil slipping and going under the ropes like crazy. Not the ropes, but under the ring itself, just rushing, I guess, and pretty much slipped really hard. It looked funny as hell when you see it. It's insane, okay? So just watch out when you see the Titus O'Neil spot. Next 40 was Dan Master from NXT. I don't really know about that guy, but 41 was Braun Strowman after that, who pretty much went on a murdering spree, killing anything that moves, going nuts after that. Who else was in this ring? As I said, 41, Dan Matha. 41 was Braun Strowman. Strowman pretty much started taking out everybody from Babatunde, Martha, and Luke Gallows after that. A little tired, I guess. But, like I said, I don't know about Babatunde, but we'll see. Strowman just started throwing out people. 42 was Ty Dillinger after that. Strowman then took out Elias Neal then, and even Ty Dillinger himself. Mysterio, Rey Mysterio pretty much took out Corbin, and after that, after he pretty much went with a DDT and threw him over the gate. 44 was Bobby Lashley. I like Lashley, but he was botching like a motherfucker out there. You can see that silent slam was a botch. The botch where he had the girl on top of her, I guess was trying to do a deadlift suplex or something. Sorry. But, like I said, after that, 44. Yeah, Bobby Lashley was just botching out there a lot. Damn near dropped Cass on his head when he did that suplex on him in the air. Really could have dropped him. So, I don't know, man. This whole Bobby Lashley thing, I'm not really sure what they think on it right now, but that was some very bad botching out there. They pretty much eliminated, I guess, some guy's money because he was on his phone, but that was after 34. Larry Zbyszko didn't like what he was doing with it, so he left. But wow, I really must have lost track of this video. I must be losing my mind here. 45 was Great Khali after that, which was surprising. He was in there and pretty much got destroyed by both Lashley and Strowman then. Pretty much getting eliminated. Great Khali after that, just chopping folks' heads. And Daniel Bryan, like I said, taking a lot of abuse out there from everybody. Next thing you know, Shane McMahon, 47, had a big reaction. Pretty much Kevin Owens looked at him as both of them went at each other then. And as they both went at each other, and Shane hitting his 1,000 punches, misses about 500 of them, looked crazy. Shelton Benjamin, 48, and please give him his Ain't No Stopping Me song, because his dubstep thing ain't working for him. And Shane McMahon even hit a coast to coast in the ring, too. Yes, 49 was Braun Strowman. when he gets Cass himself. I'm sorry, now I'm forgetting again. Yeah, Shane McMahon, like I said, throws 1,000 punches, missed about 500 of them, and pretty much then Shane kept going after Daniel Bryan, tried to go after Lashley for a second for some reason. Pretty much Daniel Bryan went back home too. I remember Shelton Benjamin's theme song. Yeah, give him his old theme song back. 49 Big Show. What? Not sorry, Big Show. Big Cass was left. And I guess I kind of knew 30 was going to be after that. And it was going to be Chris Jericho. And as he came to the final two after the 50th person, Benjamin got eliminated by Jericho then. Strowman pretty much taking out everybody since everybody was jumping him from Thanos right there. Okay, I really have focus here because I'm really starting to lose my thought. I'm trying to close this video as quick as possible now before I really start sleeping in front of the camera. But like I said, it was eliminated Strowman to start throwing guys off. Killed Shane McMahon throwing him through one of the tables too. Killed Shane McMahon. Threw him across the damn room. Just killed him for no reason. The guy that takes the biggest bump out there is the human stunt machine himself, Shane McMahon. Kills himself after that. But as it got near the end, Daniel Bryan tried to do this whole David Goliath thing since he was there for over an hour, surprisingly. So he was like the Iron Man of this match. But Cass and him came back, pretty much going blows to blows with each other. But Strowman pretty much won the match and won the 50-man Rumble. So I think he's going to get some type of push after this. I'm not really even sure. And even when they brought Shane McMahon, Vince out there to give out the trophy, I just kind of found it was funny because they're like, didn't he just try to destroy your son right now, throwing through a table? And I guess Vince was like, oh, he'll bounce back about a day or two. He heals really quickly because he's Shane McMahon. So, yeah, the guy does some crazy, insane spots. So, you know he'll be all right. But Strowman winning this whole trophy, which he probably only be the one to pick up. Did this feel like a glorified house show in a way, just to put in Saudi Arabia to an extent? Yeah, there was no title changes tonight. I'm sure most everybody really want that Universal thing off. We know Brock is a part-timer, but get the goddamn belt off of him at this point. It's gotten ridiculous. Talking about what else in this Rumble? This whole greatest Royal Rumble, I might say. Like I said, the Royal Rumble match was somewhat fun to watch, even though you didn't really mean anything or win some type of title shot or mean behind in the main event WrestleMania. There's like a lot of job guys in there. We got a few NXT call-ups, a couple legends returning here and there, but a lot of jobbers being involved in this match until kind of getting to the middle of the end road of it. Titus falling on the ground is just gold. Please go look at that. That's hilarious. I laughed my ass off once I saw it later in the day. I liked the ladder match, but I did feel like the first half of the show was really trying to get out of first gear until it got to the ladder match and woke the crowd up and kind of got them hyped throughout a lot of stuff. But this 50-man Rumble thing, I still think it's somewhat ridiculous in the aspects of it. From why this is even happening, or why we need another Royal Rumble. So it's a lot of stories that can go behind this whole thing. But I think it was a good show. I don't think it was the great show. I just feel like they're just tryhards for Roman at this point, and I wonder what their next idea will be next. The AJ Styles versus Nakamura match was a way better match what they did at WrestleMania, and Heel Nakamura is working, so we will see what happens next week at Backlash for the title, for the WWE Championship. But yeah, we saw no title changes. Undertaker killing both Rusev and English. Triple H was John Cena was pretty good, I'll say that. Really good match, really decent, but I liked it. And yeah, the 50-man Rumble was a 50-man Rumble. Some people I didn't really need to see in here, but even when Strong came out, I thought Adam Cole was actually about to come out once I heard Shock to the System. But like I said, this show was for what it was. But I do feel like in a way it was some type of glorified house show, but they really hyped this up almost as they hype up WrestleMania. But that's my opinion on the greatest Royal Rumble. It was a very long show. I had to wait till later in the day. and I had to eat also. But I knew I was going to get through this today, and I was going to finish this show today. But I am out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about anything that goes now, especially in this greatest Royal Rumble review of who won and who didn't. But like I said, a lot of stuff explained from the Rumble itself to the Universal title to knowing Roman versus Brock is not over yet by a long shot. So expect this to continue from time to time whenever Braun comes back. But we're moving on to Samoa Joe right now, which I probably think Roman will win anyways. Just some type of sympathy angle if you ask me. But I'm out of here. I will see you guys later, and peace out.